Oh boy, welcome back to another episode of The World is Fucked. What are we gonna do? Am I right? Pull up, grab some coffee. We're dropping in. What's up? My name is Rocco. I'm an artist and a teacher, and just reflecting on how wild things are right now with all the Iran stuff. And I was just beginning to freestyle on the topic with my wife, Belle, and we planted these trees, and we're excited about the trees because our son River is 6 months old, and we're like, oh, we want to plant a tree and see the tree grow while we see River grow. It's going to be exciting. And you know how blessed and fortunate we are to be in the middle of nowhere while bombs are landing in Iran. You know what I mean? Yeah, shit is wild. And there's so much that we can't control. And it's like, how is that any different from all the time? There's always stuff we can't control. This is just a new level of people saying, nuh-uh, you have to pay attention. Nuh-uh, you have to be concerned. Nuh-uh, if you don't care as much as this, you're a bad person, you're actually not one of us. So it's all this social tribalism threat stuff. Like the two things that stand out to me right away are everyone panicking about AI and everyone panicking about Iran and the Third World War potentially. On one degree, nothing is touched, nothing is unchanged. On another degree, it's all sad whenever bad stuff happens, for sure. And I love this post that Belle just showed me. Put post on screen now. And it's like spiritual Barbie. It's, you know, the world right now, and the world's in flames and everybody's freaking out. And then spiritual homestead Barbie is, here's what I can do. Because how many of the things that we are socially, tribally, whether that's global tribal, national tribal, subculture tribal, they're basically psychic pressures to participate in caring more about these things than our everyday practical lives. I'm not discounting that it's going to be affecting other people. It's probably not affecting me here in rural Texas. People in Dubai. I saw Corey, Bentino's Corey. She's stuck in Dubai, and then she finally got out. And there's people over there that I can begin to notice that I don't know even a tiny bit of what they're dealing with. So I'm compassionate and I'm empathetic about that. And it feels like the seasons. But this season does feel a bit different. Pull up a chair, grab some coffee, tune in. Here we go. Why? Because AI is replacing... So this thing happened the other day where the guy Jack Dorsey, his new company, fired like whatever, 20, was it 20%? Was it 40%? It was like a large amount of people from his business. And people are freaking out about that. People are freaking out about Iran. I feel like these things are all happening as psycho-spiritual structures that collapse just like how tectonic plates move in the earth. And then it's an earthquake. And there's a hurricane. It's sad, but it's buckle up and deal with it. There are things that we can do. There's things that we cannot do to have philosophical understanding about where this moment occurs in anthropological overview. That's helpful. But like, what simple, practical, tactical stuff can you actually do to stabilize yourself and stabilize your family as the world is changing at an ever fast rate? What are you feeding yourself? Literally with your mouth, your food, your diet. I'm drinking coffee right now. If I drank too much coffee, I would poop shit that would make my asshole bleed. If I don't drink any coffee, I feel myself just a little bit more serene. And that might be practical for a particular configuration of reality. You might want to fast from something if it's feeling like it's taking too much from you and it's not giving to you. And I feel like, man, at what point do we fast from some of the media that we're getting pointed at and being forced to be told? It's like we have to look at these things, we have to look at these topics. So AI coming, okay, let me talk on the tactical or the tectonic plate thing. So psycho-spiritual structures, part of what Rudolf Steiner talks about is like there are collective thought forms. And these thought forms are like clouds, but clouds as part of larger weather formations. And those weather formations are like, they're elemental structures that get built up. And then they have to occur and they keep moving. It's part of these patterns. And then you have a tectonic plate that causes a rupture, and that's a volcano or earthquake or hurricane or tsunami, all the different things that can occur on that level. A tectonic plate has karma. Karma is like identity momentum, or stored, latent, dormant, or catalyzed, active identity. Or you could say kinetic pressure, or you could say electromagnetic charge. But it's in formation. It's formatted intelligence that is manifest in the physical world. That's karma. Sadhguru also wrote a book about karma. There's also a lot of studies about what karma is, and it's not a term. And if you're Christian and you're watching this, sorry, I don't identify as Christian. Yoga taught me more about Christ than Christianity ever did. So karma is really a simple term, but it implies such a large amount of recontextualization about simple everyday things. Every relationship has karmic architecture. What does that mean? Etc., etc. So the world has karmic architecture, and these events have karmic architecture, and yet the third dimensional tribal reality is usually just arguing about symptoms, the symptomology, the diagnosis, and then all this stuff gets talked about. It's like you can't really change it even. And even if it can be, it's really usually band-aids. And then you get into these archonic demiurge chess games that are being played. And that is the point, is if it can mine people and their souls like battery, then these, what's it called? Demogorgon? Stranger Things was a full-on documentary, by the way, if you ask me. Not a documentary, obviously, it's a film, but it's not fictional. It's a fictional story, but it's a completely realistic thing that happens. And so that's happening in the collective, and yet this happens all throughout human history on these cyclical repeat cycles, just like how the seasons change around us. And so I see Iran and AI. These are just moments that happen to be converging and happening at the same time. But what does it show about our level of disconnect with the nature of dependency on these super externalized systems? I feel like what AI, on a low level, is Skynet, it could go bad, sci-fi movie, post-apocalyptics, it's scary, etc. On the good side, on the positive perspective, it will retrieve from humanity millions and millions of qubit, square inch per second dedications of energy towards worthless things. Meaning, there are millions of people every day who work on things that are meaningless to them and to the world. And it's not to say that it hasn't had a utilitarian relevance in human history, but that it no longer is needed, and robots are going to be able to do it for us. This will cause humanity to shift slowly out of Manipura solar plexus consciousness, tribal gut-based identity, and move into a heart coherence where they have to feel who they'd rather be. And this will cause them and their I am presence to bind with their mental identity and their physical identity, and an emotional, physical, or physiological, electromagnetic intelligence evolution will occur. It is occurring. But so when I ran and AI, it's like, Rocco, what do you think? You know what I mean? And this is me being more interested in sharing these articulations on here because, yeah, I got popped out of my body so many times that my character to me became like an objective piece of utility, that my social mental identity was an object and an activity that I participated with and in, and recontextualized through Dharma and through Seva and through service-oriented living. My life completely transformed over the past 15 years of a spiritual awakening and an identity recalibration of sorts. So that's why I do the work that I do now, and I love creating things for various projects across various mediums, as well as assisting others in creating things, and if it's relevant, sharing with others the technical utility of what is self-realization and self-clarification. So That's March 9th. Couple vibes for you, whoever you are, wherever you are in the world, and wherever you are the way you are. Sending you lots of love. What do you think? You think we're fucked, or you think we're gonna be okay? Do you have any level of spiritual realization that gives you hope beyond the physical symptoms of what the news is saying is the reason why we're all fucked? I think God's in control. Check out Hassan Kafaf's new album. God's in control. Second